Oh my God.
Some deaths are so shocking, so gruesome. They seem ripped straight from a horror movie, but they're terrifyingly real. Imagine stepping into an elevator, only for a sudden malfunction to decapitate you in an instant. Or picture working at a sausage-making factory when a simple misstep sends you straight into a running meat grinder. These aren't just tragedies. They're some of the worst ways people have ever died. Brace yourself as we dive into worst ways people have died. Part 9. Elevators are part of everyday life, but for Dr. Hitoshi Nikaido, one became a death trap. On August 16, 2003, the 35-year-old surgical resident stepped into elevator number 14 at Houston's Christus St. Joseph Hospital. The doors closed on his shoulders, and instead of reopening, the elevator shot upward, causing multiple blunt force injuries and ending his life. Inside, physician's assistant Karen Steinow stood in shock, trapped with his remains for over an hour. Investigators later uncovered 22 safety violations, including a critical wiring mistake from a recent repair. The elevator had been overdue for inspection, with past malfunctions ignored. Dr. Nikaido, a respected physician with dreams of missionary work, never had a chance. His family settled the case quietly, but no national reforms followed. A grim reminder that even the most routine moments can turn deadly. A scorching July afternoon in Karmeh Yosef, a pool party in full swing, music pounding, colleagues laughing under the sun. For 32-year-old Klil Kimi, a Tel Aviv marketing professional, the celebration turned into a nightmare in seconds. Without warning, the pool's foundation gave way. A massive sinkhole tore through the floor, swallowing the water and pulling Klil into a 43-foot chasm. One co-worker barely escaped, scrambling to safety with minor injuries. Around them, inflatables spun in the vortex as stunned guests stood frozen. The collapse was later traced to unstable limestone and unauthorized construction. Rescuers spent 4 hours navigating the crumbling underground tunnels before recovering Klil's body. The villa's owners, Natan and Rachel Meller, faced manslaughter charges. Investigators revealed their unlicensed pool was built just 50 meters from a known cave system. Paramedic Yuri Damari recalled, "The water vanished in seconds. No screams, just silence." A disaster of negligence and unseen dangers, forcing Israel to confront its oversight of private properties. Factory jobs require caution, but for 18-year-old Jomar Junko, inexperience and poor safety measures left him defenseless against the machine that took his life. On June 22, 2019, just 2 weeks into his job at a sausage factory in Iloilo City, Jomar made a fatal mistake. Lacking both a health card and proper training, he reached into an active industrial meat grinder. The powerful 2-horsepower motor caught his arm, pulling him waist-deep into the spinning blades. By 8 a.m., co-workers arrived to a horrifying sight. Only his legs remained visible. The emergency switch was out of reach, recalled colleague Carl David Carlos. When the machine jammed mid-process, technicians had to dismantle it to recover his remains. Investigators uncovered deadly lapses, missing safety guards, inaccessible emergency stops, and untrained workers operating hazardous machinery. The factory closed for good, and the owner covered the burial costs, but Jomar's tragic death became a stark warning about the dangers of lax industrial safety in the Philippines. Helicopters, marvels of engineering yet merciless when things go wrong. For Salvatore Disi, a seasoned aviation expert, A routine maintenance check turned into a fatal miscalculation. On January 10, 2019, at Florida's Brooksville-Tampa Bay Regional Airport, the 62-year-old was inspecting a Bell 230 twin-engine helicopter owned by spinal surgeon Dr. Alfred Bonatti. As DC and a colleague jump-started the 4,300-pound machine, it suddenly lurched upward, then crashed back down. The spinning rotor blade struck him with devastating force, ending his life instantly. There were no warning signs, no second chances. Even the sheriff, a personal friend, called it unnerving. With federal investigators delayed by a government shutdown, answers came too late to matter. DC, a master of flight, met his end on the ground, betrayed in an instant by the very machine he understood so well. Caves mysterious, treacherous, and for some irresistible. For John Edward Jones, a single misjudgment in Utah's Nutty Putty cave turned fascination into a nightmare. On November 24, 2009, the 26-year-old medical student and father entered the cave with his brother. Seeking the birth canal, a tight but navigable passage, he instead crawled headfirst into Ed's Push, a downward sloping fissure just 10 inches wide. Wedged upside down 400 feet underground, his chest compressed and legs pinned, rescue teams launched a grueling operation. For 27 hours, over 100 responders battled the cave's clay walls and collapsing equipment. A pulley system briefly freed him, only to fail catastrophically when an anchor tore loose, plunging him deeper. Blood pooled in his skull as he hallucinated angels, whispered to his wife via radio, then fell silent. Declared dead from cardiac arrest, his body remained entombed, too dangerous to retrieve. Nutty Putty's story didn't start with Jones. 2 Boy Scouts had been trapped nearby in 2004, foreshadowing the tragedy. Authorities sealed the cave with explosives and concrete, igniting debates about adventure versus safety. Today, the site serves as a stark memorial, not just to a father lost, but to the irreversible consequences of one wrong turn in the dark. Some deaths are so horrifying they leave us speechless, from a simple elevator ride turning deadly to the unimaginable terror of being crushed or trapped with no escape. These stories remind us just how fragile life can be. Which of these was the most disturbing to you? Let us know in the comments. If you want more shocking and terrifying stories like these, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications, because trust me, there are even worse ways people have met their end. Until next time, stay safe and be grateful for every moment.